Hello and welcome to another Strong Body, Strong Mind session with me, Coach Di. Today, our strong mind focus is going to be on dealing with anxiety and how we can use our breath to breathe through anxious thoughts. Our movement is going to expand to another level and challenge you, specifically around the core muscle groups. And you may actually start to feel now that you're starting to get more of a workout done. So you start to challenge the systems a little bit more with this creative movement. We'll begin down on the ground. We'll begin with some breathing today, but not the breathing through anxious thoughts. We'll actually revisit some of the work that we did in our morning routine. And oxygen charging, getting as much oxygen into the system as possible to upregulate our nervous system and prepare us for the exercise and the movement to come. So all you need is a little comfortable space where you can lay down on the ground and access the full capacity of your lungs. So lay down on your back, legs bent at 90 degrees. If you feel more comfortable sitting upright or sitting up in a chair, that's okay. One hand on your tummy, one hand on your chest. We know the drill by now. Nice deep breath in, and we're going to pull the air in for 6 seconds. And forcefully exhale. So with me, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale. Keep going with that cadence now at your own leisure. One more breath. And now just for a moment, we'll slow the breathing down to 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. And try and make it all nasal breathing. So inhale and exhale through your nose. 4 in, 4 out. As you continue there, just take 2 to 3 more breaths, and then next we're going to really charge the system with some rapid inhale and exhale for 10 reps. So it's almost as if we are hyperventilating. Complete your final 4 in, 4 out breath. And now try and go along with me. 3, 2, 1. And slow it back down, 4 in and 4 out. This is working to get as much oxygen into your body as possible, charge the body with oxygen, upregulate your nervous system, prepare you for what movement we're about to do. It's also a great way to overcome a little bit of tiredness or fatigue. Right, the first thing in the morning, if you wake up feeling particularly tired, or as you go through the day, you start to feel you have a little slump, just hit those 10 rapid breaths. As we lay here now, we start to move a little bit. So just relax the arms out to the side and start to roll your hips. So the hip joint specifically So one leg drops in, the other drops out. Small ranges of movement to begin with. We're not forcing the range. We're not going to force into any stretch. Just getting the femur, so the thigh bone, rotating within the joint capsule of the hip. So if you've been laying down all night and you're hitting this first thing in the morning, or you've already spent some time sat at the desk, in meetings, on calls, doing work, we want to loosen up the hips. Now gradually start to increase that range. We're not counting any reps, we're just flowing through the positions. Just a few more reps. And we can take our legs up 90 degrees at hips and knees. Same kind of thing. Just start to rock small movements from side to side. You start to feel some tension in your core. Remember, we want to hollow the back out towards the ground. We're just going to create tension and a connection between your ribs and your hips. We don't want the back to rise and arch up. Ribs are down, back is hollowed to the floor. We can place the legs back down on the ground, forearms on the ground in an I surrender position, so this W position. As you breathe out, I want you to slide overhead, keeping forearms in contact with the ground. Shoulder range of motion is not my strong point, so you see that I don't get fully extended overhead. I start to lose the connection between my ribs and my hips. That's when I know I've hit my end range, my strong end range. So do the same for yourself. Slide as far overhead as you can until either the arms come off the ground or the ribs feel like they're pulling away from the hips. Working a little bit of that overhead range of motion. You do a little bit of overhead work today. Just a couple more reps. And we will roll to our side. Rotating through the thoracic spine, set yourself up at 90 degrees, hips and knees, and then like an archer drawing the bow. Open rotation. Swim back through the middle. So as you see, it's like I'm dragging over the Exos logo on my shirt. 5 times, and then we'll switch sides. You've done 5, roll over, 5 on the other side. And relax. So that will complete the warm-up and the prep for today's session. Okay, so now we're ready and we're going to go into our movement section of the session today. We're going to work as always through 5 movements, beginning on the ground and working your way up to a standing position. And today at the end in that standing position, we've got a little balance challenge. So there's some objects that you may need for the workout today, just easy household objects. I'm actually going to use some mini bands that we've got here in the session, but you can grab anything that you feel comfortable literally placing on the ground. So 3 objects that you can place on the ground, and then also take a shoe or something that you can balance on your fist. A shoe is a really good thing to use, a nice flat sole. So we'll build to those movements, so you can just place your objects to the side, your shoe and your 3 other objects. We're going to go back onto the ground, or maybe you're already still on the ground from our prep. We're going to go into our familiar hollow hold position. So that's where ribs and hips are together and we're lifting our shoulders on the ground, so low back is connected to the floor. I'm going to extend and point my toes and reach overhead. Always looking up at the ceiling. This is hollow hold. We're going to advance that movement on a little bit today. We're going to go hollow hold, slowly bringing the knees in, curling the toes up, so again flexion at the ankles, knees and hips, and then bringing the hands to touch your heels. Extend back up. Slowly does it, and on this first round we are only going to do 5 reps. So 5 ultra slow, super slow reps. Keep your eyes on your ceiling. Keep the movement slow and controlled. So that's just 5 reps. When you get into the second and third rounds, we're going to increase that to 8 reps. 5 in this warm-up round, 8 in the working sets. Next movement, laying down on your back still, tension. So we've got straight legs. I'm going to pull them up. So I'm locked nice and tight at my quads. There's tension here in my thighs. This time my spine is straight on the ground, and I'm going to lower one leg, then the other. Depending on where you feel comfortable, you can place your arms out to the side. You can also drive your elbows into the floor to give you a core assist, which is going to enhance the tension and stability that you have in that abdominal area. But 5 reps on each side, slow and controlled. Those 5 reps on each side are consistent throughout the whole workout. Slowly does it. So with those 2 first movements combined, you really start to feel the challenge going on in the core muscles, the ability to stabilize movement through upper and lower body from that main axis of strength in the body. Next, we are going to go into a push-up position, and I want everyone to go full push-up. If you're unable to go full push-up position on the ground, you can go from an elevated position. If you're doing this at home, maybe that's a stool, your sofa, the side of a bed, etc. But we're going to go into that full push-up. Corkscrew your hands into the ground. So we're really going to create some torque, some rotational force, which is going to help you stabilize the shoulders. We're going to hold with soft elbows. You see that little dip? Just soft elbows. We're going to go 5-second hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower to halfway. 5-second hold in this halfway point. 3, 2, 1. Down to the bottom, just off the floor. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Big push to the top. And that's it. 5 at the top, 5 in the middle, 5 at the bottom. Maintain ribs and hips locked and stable together. Maintain that screw into the ground. Set the shoulder. 5 seconds in each position. Build over your set. Try and get up to 10 seconds in each position. And it's just the once. So once, 10, 10, and 10. Next movement. This is where your shoe comes in, or the object that you have to balance. I'm just going to use a slide here because it's nice and flat. First thing, we're going to set ourselves up, half kneeling position. And that back leg, you can just sort of turn, you can see my foot turning in a little bit. And the front leg, I want you to open to 45 degrees. Now what's important in these next 2 movements, big toe, little toe, and heel, stable contact with the ground. That tripod is a tripod of support for you. So just like a chair, a 3-legged chair will always be stable. Big toe, little toe, and heel. 4-legged chair is actually much more difficult to balance. Whichever leg is in front, you're going to take your slide, balance it up on your fist, or if you've got a shoe, or even you can use a weight here, like a kettlebell, for example. You're going to take it overhead. This is why we prepared our overhead movement. Then I'm going to keep my eyes on my object, rotate, taking my other hand down to the ground. So you should be able to draw a nice straight line through one hand to the other. Also then lowering even further, down to your elbow. So your butt will sit back onto that back heel. You're still looking at your object. It's straight pointing up to the ceiling. Rise back up, back into that same starting position. We're going to do 5 reps on each side. Down to your hand, to your elbow. Don't worry if you lose that object. This is why we choose something light to work with first. You can reset your position, but we're developing a nice stable shoulder. We're rotating through the thoracic spine. We're rotating at the hips. We're also hinging at the hip. So all these key fundamental movements that the human body does. You can hit 5 total reps, then slowly bring your object down, repeat on the other side. 45 degrees, open that front leg, back leg for comfort. Same side as the front leg. Nice straight line drawn between one hand and the other. Hinge, sitting your hips back as you lower down to the ground. 5 reps. Focus on that front foot, so just take a look when you're in the bottom position. Don't worry if it falls off, remember. Take a look in the bottom position. Are you in contact? Big toe, little toe, and heel. 5 reps on each side. That's consistent throughout each round, 5 reps each side. The last in our movement in today's session, we're going to take our 3 objects. Balance on your left leg to begin with. When we balance, we're going to go down, soft knee, so into a semi-squat position. Hips go back, chest stays up. We want to maintain this nice neutral posture. Whatever angle you take, nice straight spine. So you're going to put one object on the ground, maybe 50 centimeters in front of me. Rise back up, still balancing, coming down, so you get a little squat movement. Take my right hand, place that object across and behind my stance leg, and my third object with my left hand across and behind the open leg. Now I want to touch each of those with my free leg. So now I'm squatting down, reaching, trying to touch, keep my balance. And this creates this Y balance position. Then I'm going to reach. If you can touch your object, go as far as you can. Reach beyond your object. Back up. Never losing your balance. Never putting the free leg back to stabilize. If you bounce around a little bit, that's okay. Still on that left leg, now I'm going to collect my objects. So this is where it becomes more challenging to stabilize and keep that neutral spine. You can use any hand, any strategy you want to bounce around, restabilize, rebalance, until you've got your 3 objects. Start to feel a little bit of work, maybe a little bit of fatigue, perhaps in your calf, perhaps in your quads, perhaps in your glutes. If you grip in the ground, 3 points, big toe, little toe, heel, grip in the ground with your big toe, you probably start to feel it in your calf. And that tells you you've got a nice stable position to work with. Same then on the right leg. Got my 3 objects. Semi-squat. Each time coming back up, placing the object in this Y-like position. Coming down, trying to touch or extend and reach beyond each of your objects. Do your best not to have to put that free leg back on the ground to stabilize. And now go ahead and collect. Like I say, sometimes you lose that balance, you just need to reset Try again. There you go. So once around that sequence on each leg. So that completes our 5 movements for today's session. The hollow hold with heel touch. Scrub back if you need to look at any of these movements again. We have the straight leg lowering, the 3 position isometric push-up holds, windmill from the half kneeling position, and then finally our balance challenge. Go ahead and try and complete 2 to 3 more rounds. Reps and description are down below in the comments box. Feel free to comment with any questions either on the video or in our team's channel. Alright, so now you've completed the movement section as well. The last thing to visit today in our strong body, strong mind is what we said at the beginning, breathing through anxious thoughts. So this is a very simple breathwork strategy that shows how you can use and utilize breathing to calm your nervous system, to refocus your mind, refocus your energy away from something that is stressful, creates anxiety for you, or just fills you with worry or doubt. So this is something you can do at any point in the day. Even as little as 3 to 5 breaths will have a huge benefit on how you're able to deal with that stress factor moving forward. It's like when someone tells you, if something angers you, to take 10 deep breaths. This is effectively taking that same thing. So if there's something that makes you anxious, just focusing in on your breath for a moment to calm everything down. It's going to help you to perform better and deal better with the situation. So as I said, it's very simple, and you can do this anywhere. You can do it seated, you can do it laying down, you can even do it as you're in conversation with someone, but just focusing on your breath for a 6-second inhale, a 4-second hold, and then a very slow 10-second inhale. Now if we're doing this in deliberate practice, we will breathe in through our nose, 4, 5, 6, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale slowly, 10, 9, 8. And as we exhale, now we're exhaling through our mouth. As you exhale through your mouth, you'll do this through pursed lips. It's like you're breathing through a straw. We go again. In for 6. Hold for 4. And slowly out for 10. Just continue to go. In for 6. Hold for 4, out for 10. Do this at your own pace. Now everyone counts at a different rate. And that's what I want you to focus your counting on. Your focus on is the counting. So count the seconds, count the beats of your heart rate to control the breath. So as you gradually count, so count in with each beat of the heart, 6, 5, 4, 3. That's also going to serve to steady your heart rate, slow your heart rate down, effectively bring you back in control. So over the breaths, 10-second exhale becomes easier because we've got that 6-second inhale to really draw lots of oxygen in. Heart rate slows, nervous system steadies down, your focus shifts to something else, takes away the physiological effects that stress places on the body, the general response to drive up the nervous system. Put us in a better position to have a coping strategy. So that's nice and easy. You can go there for about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes with deliberate practice. If 10-second exhales are very difficult, which is quite common, you can shorten it. So go for a 5-second inhale, a 3-second hold, and an 8-second exhale, or even go for a 4-3-5 or 4-3-6. We are just trying to ensure our exhale is longer than our inhale. Whenever you want to calm something down, exhale for longer than inhale. Back at the beginning of the session, where we were trying to up-regulate our systems to prepare, our inhale was longer than our exhale, and we were forcefully exhaling in order to get even more oxygen in on our inhale. So there's a deliberate system starting to play out here. Inhale, longer than exhale, up-regulate. Inhale, shorter than exhale, down-regulate. If you have any questions about any of the Strong Body, Strong Mind sessions, head to the team's channel, post your questions, your comments in there. Coach Kevin or myself will be very happy to answer. Spread the word. If you're enjoying these sessions, please feel free to share them with colleagues or friends. They are on our YouTube channel, Herzo Gym. You can go ahead and see those from the playlist. Until next time, take care. We'll see you soon.